Okay, quick recap. Last episode, we were able to get our base placed down. We did some power production kind of setup, and we built our wind turbines. We upgraded ourselves to tier 4 and Lord Wader's tiered systems, and got some production, like in refineries and assemblers placed down, got all our autocrafting started. And at the end of the episode, Shum was showing you, or I was showing you, the incorrect way to use autocrafting in Izzy's inventory manager. Yeah, that's where we got to. Right. I have figured out the error of my ways. What we were doing is we were queuing up stacks of different items at the same time. If you want to teach the script, and it's written very clearly in the manual, you were supposed to queue up 100 of one item. That's not going to work because we don't have any gold left because we've just chewed through it with my idiocy. You queue up at least 100 because we're on a tier 4 assembler. 100 sometimes isn't enough, so queue up 200 and then let the script remove it from the assembler after it's learnt the blueprint. It needs to craft a few to kind of learn how many is made per craft. It also depends on how many other functions the script has to process at that time. And by queuing it up the way that it is designed to be queued up, it works perfectly. Just don't do what I did and be an idiot and waste all your resources stacking things in the queue. My reasoning was I've got many in the name, so I should be able to add many different items to the queue. Okay. All right. The other great thing, the other thing I did while I was trying to troubleshoot is I added in the LCD Izzy ISM-main, and it gives you an overview of what's going on with the script, how full each type of cargo container is, so that I can get a better overview of if we're running out of space for components or for ingots. You'll see that we're running kind of low on storage for ammo. Well, we still got 10% left. That should be plenty for now. But yeah, it also tells me if there's any errors, and we don't actually have to worry about welding up the drills ourselves because our little helper bots will go back and forth towards to any cargo container that they can find, and they will weld them up as the components become available. So while they do that, we're going to go and start building. What do I feel like building first? We're going to go build the ice rig. Yeah, screw it. Okay, so as it was requested that I keep talking over my time lapses, we're building up essentially a mobile version of what we've already covered in our tutorial series. It will have a few extra functions in terms of timer blocks that we didn't need on the drill rig base, but we will go through and cover kind of the changes a bit later on once I actually get those functional. But yeah, so this is going to be a ice drill rig. It's going to be powered by hydrogen thrusters. Well, no, it's going to fly with hydrogen thrusters. It's going to be powered by hydrogen engines. And yeah, essentially, it's going to do everything that our base drill rig does, just smaller. I don't think I can think of anything else to really say over this voiceover, so we'll go to the music, and all I can say is just stay tuned to the end of the time lapse. There's something way more interesting at the end. All right. While I was recording this video, I saw an extremely cool idea that Andrew Mann Gaming had been using, which was a action relay network. Yes, there is a couple of changes. This part of the episode comes to you like I couldn't sleep tonight, so I'm up. I was playing around with trying to get the hole finished off, and because I'm sick of having to wait for that, and I was trying to leave the world open so it could finish drilling. And while I was doing that, I figured I might as well play around with our drill rig. And while I was playing around with the drill rig, I had a bit of YouTube open watching other Space Engineers content, and I came across Andrew Mann Gaming's channel. And essentially, he came across the same issue I had when I looked at the new action relays. There is, I thought it was going to be really cool. There's only 100 channels, which means we're only limited to sending 100 different signals. Until Andrew Mann Gaming came up with an idea. The easiest way to explain this is going to be to come over to the base. So what his idea was is you have a bunch of different action relays that will trigger from number 0 to number 9. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then have a programmable block that captures that information as in a gateway. So if you're a networking guy, that would be a gateway. Would be what takes all of the out or the external traffic and allows you to understand what it is. So essentially what the system is you would take for his one, he did a 3-digit ship identifier code followed by a 1-digit status code. So he wanted to make sure that he knew when his ships were docked and undocked in his video, and he was going to expand on it later. And then followed by a 2-digit location code. We've taken his idea and fed it steroids. So we're going for an 8-digit code from our ship. So every ship gets a ship ID. I've decided that our mobile drill rig out there is going to be ID number 900. So when it sends through a message, it's going to trigger the channel 100, which is the network receiver. That just tells our programmable block we are ready to start receiving. And then it's going to fire off, first off, its ship ID, so it'll hit, it'll trigger number 9, number 0 twice, and then it'll give us a status code, which we can use for all sorts of things. So again, we've set O1 to docked and O2 to left dock. But I thought there was so much more that we could do with this, which is why I opted to make my channel, my status code, at least 2 digits long. So using event controllers, we can now send back cargo status. Using another script on the drill rig, we can send back what percentage of completion we are for drilling with that mobile rig. And then taking it a step further, we can also use it to automate. So after we've received the code, and I still haven't built the part that for this, but after we've received the code, we can then create the automation on base where, so we get a code, car goes full, it goes through a whole bunch of different, so for me at the moment, I'm just receiving everything to the gateway. The gateway is set to send all codes directly to our main router, which is then, its job is to dish it out to different routers or terminals, is what I've called them, around the base, around the command center, that are going to receive certain codes. So for anything that has the ship ID 900 to 909, it's going to come up to this programmable block. And through this programmable block, we can then, once we figure out how many displays we need for how much information we're going to get, we can then process that information up onto displays for us to easily get an overview of exactly what our mobile drill rig's doing. But then by taking it one step further and adding relays to every ship to process the same information, and I think, so I've got the ones on the base set at 90 to 99. These ones are set at 80 to 89, with the receiver signal being at 79. So by going that next step further, we can now send codes back to the ships and have the ships check for their identifier. So for that one, I think I've got it set. It's still a 8-digit code, but it's the first 3 digits is who's sending it. So that will be what this will be looking for, is it coming from the first 99 codes, because that's going to be all our main bases that we want to send. So first 99 location IDs is the ones that will potentially be sending our action status updates to this thing. Then on the next 2 digits, we can give it an action. And then on the last 3 digits, we can identify exactly what ship it's supposed to be for. So, we said this is going to be ship ID number 900. So if I wanted to tell this thing, let's say we made 00 start and 01 pause. If I wanted to tell this thing from our base to pause, it would get a code 001 01900. And that would go into the programmable block that I can't remember if I've added it. I haven't programmed it yet. That would go into that programmable block, and that would allow us to receive the message. Okay, so this mobile drill rig is set up to send transmissions to the base, but the base is not set up to receive them. So I figured to kind of give you an idea, we would go through and set one of these up. And I have gone through to make our life a little easier and put LCDs on the ground to tell you exactly which one is which. So we will start at the most important relay. So this is the one that puts our network into receiver mode. This needs to be set for, I think we can change it in the script, but for demonstration purposes, this one needs to be set to channel 100. Control click 100, and we will give that a name. This is going to be, I think I've called it Relay Network Receiver. And we put a R in front of that so I can find it later. So now we've named this Relay Network Receiver, and we've set it to channel 100. Oh, I've just realized the mistake I've made. Oh no, these few. I thought there was only control panels on one side. That would have been real embarrassing. All right, so next we want to come to our one for 0, and it is just going to be set to channel 90. Hey, relay network, and I like to say what it's going to be doing, and number 90. We are going to have to come back. Oh, I've just realized I'm doing this in the wrong order. First things first, what we should be doing is naming our programmable block. EB relay network, and this is going to be gateway. Do we need to say whether it's in or out? What have I named the one on this side? Yes, we do need to say in. Gateway in. Because, so that's important because we're going to reference it with every action relay that we're about to program here. So we're going to come in here, set up actions, and we are looking for PB. We want to run number, the whole argument it's sending is 0. And we repeat that all the way along. So, you know, that 0, when it receives signal, it's going to trigger or run the argument 0 on the gateway input. This is going to run 1 on gateway input, 2 on gateway input, and it's only when it receives a signal on the channel it's set to. So 1 is 91, 2 is 92, so on and so forth. I'm going to go ahead and finish off setting the rest of these to the channels, and I'll bring you guys back in a second. On number 9 to go to programmable block, PB relay network gateway in run number 9. Confirm. Cool, so that's our action relay setup. So whenever they receive a signal on the channel that they're on, they're going to send the number that they are set to. So, you know, if we get a signal on channel 90, we're going to send 0 to the gateway in programmable block. And that happens all the way up to number 9. Now that we've got that set, we need the name. We need to copy the name of our receiver. Come to our programmable block. Edit. We want to browse scripts, and we want relay network base receiver. I've got to rename this. This is the gateway in, because I've got gateway out made up already. I just haven't added it to the game yet. And we want to copy to editor. A few things we need to go through and change. The name of your relay, which our one is named that. We then need to set the name of the LCD. So we're just going to go LCD relay network gateway. No, that's going to be too long. Okay, LCD RN gateway status. We get the capitals where they need to be. Base gateway status. LCD RN relay network base gateway log. Now the log isn't a necessary part. I've added it in there because for me it's still quite important. I don't think I've updated this. So this original one, I built it very similar to Andrew Man Gaming's original script, which was just triggering timers with the same code. It's still going to work for our testing purposes, but it is not going to do what we want it to do in terms of sending stuff on to the next router. So I will need to grab and update the script. But for now, to kind of test that it's working. Wait and ticks, a number of ticks it's going to wait before filling any blanks with zeros. We'll set it to, I think it's got to send through 8 numbers. I'll set it to 10 second, 1 second, 10 ticks, because the way we've got this set up on the ship side is we're sending 1 number per tick. If we haven't sent everything through in 8 ticks, then there's an error on the other side. So we'll set that to 10. We will check code. And now it should tell me the LCD panels are not found. So first thing, we want the status LCD name. We'll copy that out of there. That's that one done. Make sure. See, I haven't made mine to force it to change to text and images, so I have to manually do that. I'm sure someone with a lot more experience in coding will be able to sort that out, but I cannot. Our next one is we want to grab the name we said we would set the log LCD to. This is purely for troubleshooting. I made this interpretation of it just by watching Andrew Man Gaming's video and absolutely loving the concept. So I fully expect there to be some major issues. All right, now if we recompile, we've got it. Our log is just going to continue updating with whenever it receives anything. Here, I just want to go and make it look a bit nicer. So we'll go 1.5 to match my other LCDs. Center it. And I'll have to do some nice touch-ups to space out the writing a bit later on. I think 25% should put it about center. Okay. Now, if we head over to our ship. Yes. We head over to our ship. We're going to jump in the cockpit. Here we go. Right. So we're going to put our spectator camera in front of the LCDs. And I think it's F6 to go back. F7. I've got to make sure I push F8 to go back to F8. I don't normally use spectator camera with this character. Like, I normally have Germbot on, which I haven't got on today because I didn't think this was going to be part of the cinematic side of things. So F6. No, F6 to go back, F8 to come back. Yeah. So if we come in here, on here, we have another script. And what this one has is somewhere for you to adjust what you've called your action relay, because it only needs one action relay to send to the base. Somewhere to set your ship ID, which I've set my drill rigs to 900. If I make another drill rig, mobile drill rig, it'll be 910. That leaves me 9 spaces to make support drones, whether it be defense, cargo, hydrogen drone, hauling drone, ammo hauling drone, whatever it needs. That leaves me 9 spaces to assign a ship to this. Next, we have set and defined what channels it sends 0 to 9 on. So you can quite easily, using this script, customize it. So if you wanted to use, I don't know, 10 to 19 and have 20 be your channel receiver, this side allows you to do that. And essentially what the script is doing, if we go through, what the script is doing is, I've still got this one set up with a log LCD because I kept breaking it. I've set this script up so that if we run an argument, status and location, we don't need to put in the ship ID because it automatically adds that in the script itself. So if we wanted to say, hey, we've landed at base, we'd run the code that it says. 01 being docked, and 001 being the bunker. And if we hit run and quickly hit F8, ooh, what have I done? Okay, something didn't work. Right, I found what it was. Yeah, I was running like version 1.0 and I'm currently up to version like 5 point something. Like in terms of once it's released, like technically I was running like version 0.1 and we're now at like 0.5. So yeah, now everything's a little bit more lined up. The difference is this one has been set up specifically with the goal of routing in mind. So we've set out the name of our receiver. We've set the name of our status LCD and our log LCD. I'm leaving the log LCD in for now because it gives me useful information to make sure that like maybe the status LCD just didn't get the update. Maybe the code came in wrong. Like it's just like it's a backup. That's what that's there for. Next, it's got the programmable block that you can set up to pass all of your traffic onto. Well, you could do the routing in the gateway block. I opted to remove that function from it just because it became a little too complicated to maintain. It also, kind of felt cool to have a like a networking kind of system inside a game that has no networking. I've also, on this version of the script, for as much as possible, put descriptors on to tell you exactly what each part's doing. And yeah, this version is also set that if you are missing something, it will tell you on the programmable block what you are missing. Previous editions did not. But yeah, this one's nicer. You know, it's laid out a bit nicer, and it will automatically kind of resize based on how full the screen is. Hopefully, if I've got that working properly. I haven't inputted the router code yet because I am yet to test that. But this I've tested and should work. I haven't tested it since loading it in this world though, so fingers crossed. Come on out. Jump in here. And we are looking for the programmable block. Relay network from the ship. And we want to run the argument that we've landed on base. Cool. If we check the LCD up here, this is the log panel for the ship. It'll say, so it started the transmission. That's where it sends out the message on, sends a signal on channel 100. Then it sent out 9, 0, like it doubles up. So it's every second letter. So we 9, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1. If we come back to our control or the server room first. Why? What have I done wrong? Hang on, do I have the antenna still on this thing? Got beacons. It's got an antenna. Yes, it can send. The base has an antenna. Oh, what have I broken? Let's recompile, just make sure we haven't got anything weird happening there. Double check our antenna. 5,000 meters should be more than enough. Let's make sure I haven't mucked something up in here. Oh, I have mucked something up. I forgot to set up the action for this one. Incoming main router, run, and that argument is supposed to be start receiver, I think. Oh, bad. If you are interested in this, let me know, and we will get a more detailed tutorial. I will tentatively, like, if there is enough demand, we will tentatively release our version of the scripts until Andrew Man Gaming releases his one, because I don't want to take credit for something that he came up with. We have just refined it to kind of our needs based on what he came up with, so I do really want to leave it to Andrew Man Gaming to take the credit for this. Right. Programmable block. Relay network. Now, we're going to run the argument again of 01 being we've landed or docked at the bunker. I'm not even going to use the spectator camera. We're just going to fly straight over there because I'm confident that I have fixed it. I have not. Maybe that's something I should add, is what it needs to receive. So that it's easier just to copy and paste, because I probably spelt it wrong. Start receiving. Starting argument for, what do we call it? Receiver relay. We'll just put that right up the top there so it's easier to find. Oh, I was so confident that time too. Set up actions. Remove programmable block. And we were sending it to the wrong thing too. We were sending that to the main router and not gateway. Start receiving. Confirm. We'll head back on out. We'll jump in our ship. PB. Relay network. Run. Now, please, 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 let this one have worked. No. All right, let me troubleshoot this. We will be right back. Okay, we're back. All right, I figured out the error of my ways. For starters, action relay or AR9 that was supposed to be running on channel 99. I had that still running on channel 1, so 9 wasn't working. It was filling in with zeros, so that was half my issue. Next issue, I had the code to print to screen the last code written inside the part of code that was also set to instantly route to the next to our router, so to pass the data on, and it was passing on before it could write to screen. So re-added that, tidied it up a bit nicer. But yeah, now we can see the code as it comes in. So 900 being from our drill rig, 01 being that it's landed, and 001 that it's landed at base. And then that has correctly been sent over to our routing script, or routing, yeah, over to the main router. Is main router? Yeah, main router. And it's got routing failed because we have set that up, and it's really simple to set routing up with this. So the way you would set up a route is we would go add route, all in one word, double dot, what route you'd want it to be. So for this, we are going to be using, our ship ID 900 space 2909. And then we want to put our line in, and right next to the line, we put the name of the next block that we want to, programmable block we want to send it on to. So for me, that'll be PB space AR for, no, RN for relay network. And then I have called, or I'm going to call that programmable block, drill rig 1 terminal, because that is the terminal that we're going to be taking. Well, technically it's still a router because it's going to be taking all that information, and if I need to use more programmable blocks to split it up to screens based on data, then I will. But for now, we're going to call it terminal. You can also do the same thing, run the same argument to update your routes. So if I go run, route added, and we check our log. Here we go. Added route 900 to 909. The PBRN for relay network drill rig 1 terminal. But, so this is just the start of what we can do with scripts now with action relays. So we come back to that drill rig, the next script. Okay, I went script crazy, I know. The next script that we've got, this one here, is designed specifically for drill rigs. So you input the amount, well, you input the piston groups for width and depth. Previously I had it so that you could put the amount of pistons, but because we need to use groups to program the thing anyway, I figured groups work just as well. You give it a location ID, and for me, I think I've set 102 to just be like an ice, so not a specific location, but just that it's on an ice GPS. And then the next part is how often you want the drill rig to send back its progress. So it's gonna, I've got this one configured to send it back every 10%, and it'll send the message once at 0%, then again at 10%, then 20, then 30, then 40, then 50, so on and so forth. And, you know, the rest of the code is just going through and detecting and calculating the progress and stuff like that. So if we recompile this here, it will send through the code for progress code 90. Ooh, did I not set this up properly? I think it's 90 to 100. I've also set it up so I can test it. So 10 means that it's got 10%, 91, yeah, so it's 90 to 100. 10, 20% would be the next one, 92. 100% should be one we can run. No. 90% we can run. 99. So it doesn't have an argument for 100%. So at 90%, we would have to start getting ready to update it, which is fine. Okay. Now that we've run all those codes from the ship, all of those codes should, now we can double check it on here too. All of those codes should have sent through. So yeah, 999% at drilling ice, or on the ice waypoint. At 20%. At 10%. At 0%. All right. Those codes, or at least the 90% code, should be displayed on our screen. 900 for drill rig, 99 for 90%. And on 102 being my location for ice. Like, it requires a spreadsheet to manage what each code is going to be, but like I'm hoping you can kind of see the sheer amount of power and information we're going to be able to send back and forth. Because once we've defined our status codes and our location codes, we can get all sorts of information. So, for example, we have event controllers on this to tell us when to start and pause. We can use the same event controllers that are triggering the rig to pause to send out messages to say cargo full, cargo 50%. We can also configure it so that we check for battery charge. We can check for, I don't know, like the realm of possibilities is, I feel like, is almost endless at this point. But not only that, having the same system available on ships like our drill rig means that we can send actions back to it. I haven't quite figured out exactly what I'm going to want to send back to it, but we have the ability to send codes back, and I'm currently developing the script that allows us to receive codes, because I'm not gonna I don't want to have to set this up where it's a different program for each ship. I want to use the same script, so I want to be able to tell it. The plan is we're going to be able to tell it that it's only going to check for its ship ID. And then it will take the status from that and then write on the log where it received that command from. That is the entire plan. for that system. And again, that's going to require a whole nother set of codes. But it gives us the power to automate our stuff like never before. I don't know if you can tell, but this stuff makes me excited. Like, it got me so excited after I watched the video that I've spent the last 2 days. Normally, like, come about 5-6 p.m. I jump on a game with my younger brother, and we play whatever takes our fancy for the night. The last couple of days, I'm sorry to my brother if you're watching. I've been so absorbed in this and trying to get this working that I couldn't do anything until I knew it was going. It's the one thing that's kind of kept me excited, and like I couldn't. There was no way that I could do anything other than get this going in our world. And until it was going, I wasn't going to be able to focus on anything else. So we've got it going. We haven't made it useful, so now it's like anything: crap in, crap out. We're still taking crap in because we haven't defined everything properly. But this does give us the like, it's a start. If we come up, I've already kind of started preparing a monitoring station for drill rig number 1. So this is going to be the incoming transmission terminal for 900 to 909, which is going to be 900 being our drill rig. 901 will probably be a cargo, a hydrogen hauler. 902 will probably be a hydrogen hauler, and we may need to give it a couple more of those that we can, transfer back and forwards. And using this, we can receive a code from, say, the drill rig that says hydrogen tank full. It'll display it on the screen. Initially, we are going to be hitting a button to send the drone to go and collect it. But as time goes on and I figure it out and spend a little bit more time with my scripts, or to be honest, I'm going to hyperfixate on this for the next couple of days, and the next episode will be us making it work. We'll be setting up the automation. So the next part is setting up the automation that takes that status that we've received and then feeds it into the transmission terminal that will, take in whatever the status is. And once it reaches a certain point, outputs the command that we would have done by button to tell a drone to go and, stockpile, set a drone to stockpile and take all the hydrogen from that, come back to base and deposit it at base. Or we've got a event controller that on there to check for ammo. So it can, when we get the low ammo or the 20% ammo message, it will automatically output to drone 903, just a guess, to go and restock the ammo of the drill rig. Say when it's finished and we've taken too much hydrogen out of it, drone 904 could be a refueler drone that takes hydrogen back out to refill it up to a percentage. So it's going to keep going and going and going until we get back on the transmission terminal. Those are the same. That's supposed to be receiving terminal. So until we get on the receiving terminal up on screen, that hydrogen is at 50%, say. And then when it comes back, it's going to have the command to stay at base. The ability to automate stuff and not have to worry about it. Well, still going to have to worry about it, but, not have to have manual input all the time. I can't wait. Like that. This is the part I was really stressing about, trying to figure out how we were going to do in our Let's Automate series. And after seeing Andrew Man Gaming's video, I don't think I'm looking back. This relay networking setup it's powerful. I can't believe, like, I never in a million worlds, or I never could imagine coming up with the base idea. But now that I've seen it, developing it is going to be fun. Also, if you've got any ideas for what the system can do, like, again, I'm probably only just touching on the tip of the iceberg. There is going to be a whole range of what you are going to be able to do with the system. And I kind of can't wait to see what your ideas are in the comments. But yeah, for now, it's very basic. Like, it's rudimentary, and we can get some basic statistics. I haven't set up the event controllers. It's the one thing I do need to continue doing. So I've programmed the timer blocks and event controllers to do test drills with this thing. But we haven't gotten to the point of doing the event controllers to send back useful statistics back to here. So that's the part I still need to work on. I haven't got the... I haven't even put in the waypoints that this thing's going to follow. I'm still having to relearn how to do the AI control blocks, because I completely forgot how that works. And that's probably why that build has stalled where it has. The other thing is I've been stressing about the progress of our first drill rig, which, now that I look at it, it's progressed a lot further than I thought it would have. But that is probably because I spent that much time playing around with these scripts more than I would like to admit to. But yeah, so the drill rig has progressed to a point where it's on its last pass. So there is a little bit of we will need a drill ship to tidy up the edges. But we are going to have access to to where our base or our bunker can be built soon. That makes me feel better. We also got through, in the test world, I got through designing our our turret towers. And I've got I kind of plan to put one up on the mountain over there behind the temporary base that we first built, our starter base. I kind of plan to put one up on that mountain, because right behind that mountain is the ice that we're going to be targeting to keep this drill ship functional, or drill rig functional. And then we will be ferrying all of that back to the base. But the issue I kept running into was I need, as it stands, we're struggling for storage. Let me just show you how much resources this rig has pulled from the ground. If we come back to the actual drill rig, yes, I built the command center. I've started building the command center around the drill rig. It is unfinished. I've started trying to do some detailing and decided that I was probably greebling way too soon. And yeah, anyway, so if we have a look at our storage, we have 19 ore containers at a total of 6.8 megaliters available to us. We are currently using 58%, which is why the drill rig's just started up again. Ingots. We have 13 ingots large cargo containers. Some of those are tier 4. So that's giving us 9.1 megaliters of storage for ingots. And we're already using 74% of that. Components. We have an insane amount of components, but it means when I want to build something, we are not waiting for it to be crafted so far. Don't quote me on that, because that's probably going to come back and bite me in the ass. The other thing that I've had to do for this particular drill rig, and I don't know why, because I didn't have to do it for the ones we built in our tutorial, but I've had to slow down the rotation speed of the drill rotor. It just ended up being too choppy and causing too many issues. I broke the drill head off more times than I can count. Yeah, it wasn't fun. Oh, I thought that was smoke, but that's the hologram of the drill rig. I'm going to add in the multi-grid projection plugin again, so that you it doesn't do anything other than show you what the thing looks like. But, I thought it was a nice touch to kind of give you an idea of what this area is going to be for. If we get to the point where we've got a large cargo hauler, which I kind of like, what I envision, ouch, is this area here is going to be like a drone mothership holder. The drone mothership would be assigned to, say, no, it doesn't need to be a drone. I haven't decided. This is the other reason why I was so concerned about releasing the Rambling Beast, is I have so many ideas. Too many ideas. And trying to fit them all in, it's quite difficult. But yes, so we've got the relay network working, and I'm really happy with that. What is there left to do to actually get moving? See, one of the problems that I have is I made the mistake of filling this thing up with hydrogen. So I did quite a few I took the rover over to the ice and filled it up a couple of times, stuffed it into this thing. Because I wanted to make sure that it could fly, which I'm really happy that it can. It doesn't have enough, or I've probably got a little bit too much gyros on this. Because it really is touchy. The other thing I had to do was reduce the amount. Like, I was thinking 2 upward thrust was going to be enough. Would be like not enough. I had to reduce down to 1. Not upwards, downwards thrust. I had to reduce down to 1 because it was just plowing itself into the ground so hard that it kept breaking the landing gear. And damaging the hydrogen container. And one of the mods that I'm thinking I might turn on is critical hydrogen tank explosions, and critical reactor explosions, just to give some more realism and fun to the game. And but yeah, taking that kind of damage wasn't fun. So reduce down the amount of downwards thrust. Reduce the amount of downwards thrust, increase the amount of upwards thrust, and upgraded the landing gear so that we have more kind of structural integrity. That's kind of all they give, is just more health. So harder to destroy in theory. Other than that, like in the test world, I did some basic testing with this thing. It spins, it extends, it does everything that the current drill rig does. The fun part is just figuring out. Again, I've got to build the cargo drone, and I've got to put the cargo system on here, so that that's one of the codes that we're going to use to go back through the base to the drill rig with. Or if I can figure out how to do it properly, we will set the cargo drone to send it to here directly. I think I've got a spare action relay on here for it. We might just, skip that system for now, plan on using it later. But one of the things I want it to do, because the docking for the cargo drones is going to be up top. I'm going to allocate 1, 2, 3, 4 docking ports on the top so that we can differentiate between we can use sorters for this one. That's the plan. We're not going to use scripts for inventory sorting at least. So we're going to dedicate 4 different ports because we're going to need to take hydrogen. That's fine. That's quite easy. We just dock a hauler with it and tell the hauler to turn to stockpile as soon as it docks, and then as soon as it undocks, to go back to turn stockpile off for once it gets back to the base. So that should be fine. I'm not too worried about that. But for emptying the ice out, because this is 2 layers of complexity for pausing. It's going to pause when the hydrogen tank is 100%, and it's going to pause when the cargo container is 100%. I might turn off the pause when hydrogen tank is 100%, because I still want it to get us ice. And then rather than transporting ice back to base, I just want to be bringing hydrogen. I don't really want to have to focus on putting heaps, like, even then I'm contemplating having a secondary production base away from here and just using the bunker as storage. That may be what we do, and we put production somewhere else. Just like, I'm finding we're using too much power. Like, way too much power. This probably isn't how. Oh, damn it. Let's go get our stuff back. Where's my body?
Meteor storm inbound.
Oh, the system would have already picked up what was in my inventory. I kind of forget we're running so many different things for... Alright, there's my stuff back. Like, if we have a look at production versus consumption, even with our tier 3 wind turbines, the max we can produce is 55.69 megawatts, and the max we can consume is like 75%, or 80.9 megawatts. So I've got like less than an hour of power, and it changes quite drastically all the time. So we don't have a lot of power left on this base. In saying that, once the hole is finished drilling, which, you know, is going to, admittedly, should take longer than an hour. Once the hole is finished drilling, all of the refineries can come out. We can get rid of all of the oil storage containers, and the rest of this drill rig base can come out and be replaced with our command center. The plan for the command center is there's going to be 2 lower floors. So this floor down here, which is going to be the main kind of networking area. Button panel I slapped down to kind of test our networking setup. So, like, oh no, I didn't save it. This is the other issue why content's taking so long. As I think I'm running out of storage space in my PC. Because we are running it as a server, some things aren't as... Yeah. We're going to call it there. Right, again, I really wanted to give a shout out to Andrew Man Gaming, who was the original kind of creator of the, well, at least from what I've seen, the original creator of the relay network system. If you enjoy Space Engineers content, I would highly suggest you go over and have a look at his channel. Also, if you've made it this far, like, I really did mean it when I said, if you've got any ideas for what this system can do, let me know and we will attempt to build it. I also do not claim to be a master scripter. My scripting knowledge is quite basic, but would be so far what I've built has been able to work. So if there's anyone out there that sees my scripting and feels like it needs to be improved, yeah, I'm not mad at that. I'm fully expecting it, actually. So yeah, enjoy. And we will be back with some more content once I have got the world back to where we finished off today. Because I don't have autosave turned on because, yes. All right. Till next time, stay safe, look after yourself, and peace, guys.